Where would you get married?
As long as it's to you,
Good.
someplace
Good answer.
warm.
I'm Priya Parker,
And I'm Anand Giridharadas.
and we are here to answer your most pressing questions about
Wedding planning. My parents, who I consider quite hip and open-minded, are coming in with these really traditional expectations for our ceremony. Help. God, if any two people can help you, it is we. It is us? It is we?
it is us. Welcome. I mean, literally
Wow.
welcome.
Wow.
Welcome.
Wow.
Welcome to the mess, as they say.
Wow, I cherish this one.
You're gonna. Do you frame that?
Yeah.
So often all of us, don't realize the dreams, desires, unspoken inheritances that are actually lying below the surface. And this was definitely, I can relate to this question. I think you probably
Deeply.
can.
I feel like it was like written by one of us for the, sneak into this thing.
Was this a setup? Where particularly I think in modern society, when we don't have that many kind of multi-generational shared collective moments, where at some level there are sort of multiple hosts, the wedding is often this moment where the generation before is kind of just going through a lot, right? A wedding is also, it's a union. It's a sort of like, it's a birth at some level of a new family, but it's also like a death of the previous family structure, right? It is, for many parents, like the last act of kind of like parenthood. And so all sorts of feelings come up and all sorts of unspoken kind of loyalties to their people, to who they are, to the rituals that they had imagined come up that were never necessarily like talked about before. And so to me, this is an incredibly common experience. And I think the kind of the best way through is to actually have a conversation about it, so that sometimes these are just feelings that needed to be processed, and the thing isn't actually about the thing. Like, they don't care so much about the dress color, they realize they're actually grieving, the loss of their homeland.
Yeah, I think what's interesting is for the people getting married, weddings are fundamentally prospective. They're about what will be. And the whole thing is vows. It's all future oriented. What will be, what will happen if that happens. But for the parents or elders, it's retrospective in a way. Mm-hmm. They're less invested in, what will be for you. I mean, they're not necessarily going to be around for the duration of your marriage. It's kind of about, in some ways, like who they were. They may not admit that, but it's kind of a referendum or a kind of performance of who they were. What was their life about? Was it good? Did they have people around them? Did they take care of people? Did they make enough money to host people nicely? Like, it's a little bit more about like the life they have lived rather than what the life the couple's going to live. And you have to negotiate those things. Those are both very those prospective and retrospective elements are both present in any wedding.
And not just who they were, but at some level who they are hoping that you will carry on from them, right? It's also, what are we carrying into our future? I mean, it is the ultimate moment of past meets future and tradition versus modernity in one little like guest list at a time. So good luck.
I'm gonna keep this one.